Then chapmen bullies leave the street, and roofy neighbours meet, as market days are wedding late, and folk begin to tack the gate. As we sit, Buchan, at the nappy, and getting full and unco happy, we think na, on the long Scots miles, the mosses, water slaps and stiles that lie between us and our hame, where sits our sulky, solemn dame, gathering her brows like gathering storm, nursing her wrath to keep it warm. This truth found on his Tam O Shanter, as heaved the airy night did canter, all there that there are tongue surpasses, for honest men and bonny lasses. O Tam, hadst thou but been so wise as to have ta'en my ain wife Kate's advice, she told you weel, thou was a skellum, a blethering, blustering, drunken blellum, that fae November to October, a market day, thou wasna sober, that elky melder with the miller, now drunk as long as thou had siller, that every naig was caught as shorn, the smith and thee got roaring full and at the Lord's house, even on a Sunday, they drink with Captain Jean till Monday. She prophesied that late or soon thou would be found deep drowned in Doon, or catched with warlocks in the mark by Always old haunted kirk. Ah, gentle dames, it gars me greet to think how many a counsel sweet, how many lengthen sage advices the husband for the wife despises. But to our tale, a market night, Tam had got planted on Corite, fast by Niggle, please and finally, where women's wax that drank divinely, and at his elbow suitors Johnny, his ancient trusty droofy crony. Tam rode him like a very brother. They had been full for weeks together. The night drave on with songs and clatter, and aye the ale was growing better. The landlady and Tam grew gracious, with favours, secret, sweet and precious. The suitors told his queerest stories, the landlord's laugh was ready chorus. The storm without might rail or rustle, Tam didna mind the storm a whistle. Care, mad, to see a man so happy, e'en drowned himself among the nappy. As bees fly hame with ladies of treasure, the minutes wind their way with pleasure. Kings might be blessed, but Tam was glorious, on all the ills of life victorious. But pleasures are like the poppy spread, you seize the flower, its bloom is shed, or like the snow falls, and a river, a moment white, then melts forever, or like the bully Alice race that flit ere you can point their place, or like the rainbow's lovely form, a vanishing amid the storm. Nae man can tether time nor tide. That hour approaches, Tam maun ride. That hour on night's black arch, the keystone, that dreary hour, he mounts his beast in, and sick a night he tacks the road in, as nae a poor sinner was abroad in. The wind blew as to blown its last, the rattling showers rose on the blast, the speedy gleams that the darkness swallowed Loud, deep and long the thunder bellowed. That night, a child might understand. The deal had business on his hand. Well mounted on his grey mare nag, I bet I never lived a leg. Tam scalped on through dub and mire, despising wind and rain and fire, whilst holding fast his gweed blue bonnet, whilst crooning o'er some old Scots sonnet, whilst glowering round with prudent cares, lest bogles catch him unawares. Kirk Alloway was drawing nigh, where geese and hoolits nightly cry. By this time he was across the ford, wherein the snow the chapman smote, past the bucks and Meeklestane, for drunken Charlie, Brocksneck Bane, and through the winds and by the cairn, where hunters found a murder baron, and near the thorn abode the well, where Mungo's mother hanged herself. Before him, doom pours all his floods, the Dublin storm roars through the woods, the lightnings flash from pole to pole, near and more near, the thunders roll, when, glimmering through the groaning trees, Kirk Alloway seemed in a blaze. Through Alcabor the beams were glancing, and loud shh resounded mirth and dancing. Inspiring bold John Barleycorn, but what dangers now can make you scorn? With Tiffany we fear nae evil, we Uskabe will face the devil. The Swatsy reigned in Tommy's noddle, fair play, he caredna deal a bodle. But Maggie stood, right sair astonished, till by the heel in her hand admonished, she ventured forward on the light, and wow, Tom saw an unco sight. Warlocks and witches in a dance, nae cotillions, brent you for France, but hornpipes, jigs, sharp spears and reels, put life and metal in their heels. A one-up bunker in the east, there sat Aldnack, in shape a beast, a towsy tyke, black, grim and large. To gie them music was his charge. He screwed the pipes and gat them skittle, till roof and rafters did dirtle. Coffins stood round, like open presses, which showed the deed in their last dresses, and by some devilish contract slicked, each in their cold horn held a light, by which heroic Tom was able to note upon the haly table a murderous bairns and gibbet airns, twa spang lang wee on christened bairns, a thief you cut it for the rape, where his last gasp, his gapted gape. 5 tomahawks were blood red rusted, 5 scimitars were murder crusted, a garter that a babe had strangled, a knife a father's throat had mangled, or his ain son of life bereft, the grey hairs yet stuck to the heft, were mair horrible and awful, which even to tell would be unlawful. 3 lawyers' tongues turned inside out, where lies seemed life, a beggar's good. 3 priest hearts, rotten black as muck, lay stinking vile in every yoke. As Tommy glowered, amazed and curious, the Murphin fun grew fast and furious. The piper loud and louder blew, the dancers quick and quicker flew. They reeled, they set, they crossed, they clicked, till Alka Garland swat and reeked and goosed their dirties to the work, and licked at it in her sack. O Tam, had they been queens, all plump and strapping in their teens. Their socks, instead of creasy flannel, have been snow white 1700 linen. Their breeks are mine my only pair. I ince my plush, a gweed blue hair. I would have given them off my hardies for a blink o' yon bonny birdies. Weathered beldams, auld and droll, red woody hags would speed a foe, loping and flinging in a crummock. I wondered in the turn thy stomach. But Tom kent what was what fu brawly. There was a winsome wedge and woolly. That night enlisted in the corps, long after Kent on Carrot shore. For mony a beast to death she shot, and perished mony a bonny boat. And she shook both knuckle, corn and bear, and held the countryside in fear. Her cutty sark, o Paisley harem, that while a lassie she had worn, though longitude, though surely scanty, and it was her best, and she was vaunty. Ah, little Kent, that reverend granny, that sack she coughed for her wee nanny, with 12 pound Scots. It was all her riches, but I ever graced a dance o' witches. But here my use, her wing maun cover, 6 flights are far beyond her power, to sing o' nanny lop and flung, a supple chick she was, and strong. And how Tom stood like the unbewitched, and folk his very een enriched, even Satan glowered, and fudged fu fain, and hutched and blew with might and main, till first they capered, sin another, Tom tint his reason altogether, and rose out, well done, Cuddy Sark! In an instant, all was dark, and scarcely had he Maggie rallied, when out the hellish legion sallied, as bees bezout with angry fight, when plundering herds assail the bike, as open puss's mortal foes, when pop, she starts afore their nose, as eager runs the market crowd, when cats their faith resounds aloud. So Maggie runs, the witches follow, when money and Eldrick screech and hollow. Oh Tam, thou get thy ferret, and hell I'll roast her like a hen. In vain I wait Kate's thy coming, Kate soon will be a woeful woman. Now, do thy speed utmost, Meg, and win the keystone on the brake. There and then thy tail may toss, a running stream they dare nae cross. But ere the keystone she can make, the fainter tail she had to shake for Nanny. Far before the rest, hard upon noble Maggie press, and she flew at Tam with furious ettle. But little wist she Maggie's mettle. A spring brought off her master heel, and left behind her ain grey tail. The cloudland clocked her by the rump, and left poor Maggie scarce a stump. While this tale, o truth, shall read, ilk man and mother's son, take heed. If to drink you are inclined, or cutty sarks run in your mind, think you may by the joys of our dear remember Tam O Shanter's mare.